We left off non-movement.
Yes.
A human being who has been pursuing the path of becoming and has gone through all that and went through this sense of emptiness, silence, energy, and abandoned almost everything, and come to the point of the ground, and has this insight. How does all that affect his daily life? That's what we came to.
Yes, that was the question.
What is his relationship to society? What is his action with regard to war, the whole world of a world that's really living in darkness and struggling in darkness? That's what we.
Yes.
What is he to do? What is his action, right? I would say, sir, it's as we discussed the other day, it's non-movement. What does that mean?
Yes, well, we said before that the ground was movement without division.
Without division. I forgot that, yeah. Quite right.
Now, in some sense it seems inconsistent to say non-movement while you say the ground is movement, right?
Ground is movement, yes. I forgot all that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Would you say ordinary, average man, educated, sophisticated, with all his unpleasant activities, he's constantly in movement, right?
Yes, well, a certain kind of movement.
I mean, movement in time.
Yes.
Movement in becoming. And we are saying the man who has trodden, if I may use that word, that path, and come to that point, and from there, what is his action? We said for the moment, what that may mean, non-action, non-movement. What does that mean?
Well, it means, as you say, not taking part in this process.
Yes, of course, that's
Yes.
obvious.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't take part in this process, what part does he play? Would you say a complete non-action? What does that mean? It's a question. I see something, but I'm trying to put it into words.
Well, it's not clear why you should call it non-action. You see, you might think that it was action of another kind, which was not part of the process of becoming.
Yes, or he's not becoming.
It's not, but it may be still action.
But he still has to live here.
Yes. Well, there's one sense in which whatever you do is action, in the sense that his action is not directed toward this illusory process, is not involved in it, but it would be directed toward what underlies it, it would be directed toward what underlies this illusory process. It would be directed toward, like we were discussing the other day, the wrong turning, which is continually coming out of the ground. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. You see, various religions have described a man who has been saved, who is illuminated, who has achieved something or other. They have described very clearly what he is, how he walks, especially in Hindu religious books, I believe, it is stated very clearly how he looks, how he walks, the whole state of his being. I think that is merely a poetic description of something which...
You think it's imagination?
I'm afraid a great deal of it there is imagination. Though I've discussed this point with some, and that is not like that.
What?
That is not imagination. Somebody who described it knew exactly what it was.
Well, how should he know? Not clear.
I don't want to personally say you are that. I said buzz off. So what is a man of that kind? How does he live in this world? Very interesting question this, if you go into it rather deeply. I think that's right, sir. There is a state of non-movement. That is, the non-movement which we've gone into.
Perhaps we could go. You see, it's not clear exactly what you will mean by non-movement. That
when it becomes poetic, that's how I'm trying to avoid that. You see, would it be right, sir, even poetically, it's like a tree in a single, it's like a single tree in a field. There is no other tree but the tree, whatever the name of the tree is, it is there.
Well, why do you say non-movement, though? You say it's...
It is non-moving. Tree, I'm making that.
Yes, the tree stands, of course, the tree.
A tree is living, moving.
Yes, it's moving.
But I don't mean that, I don't mean that.
But I mean that, yes, the tree in some sense is moving, but in relation to the field it stands, right? And that's where the picture we get.
See, I come to you. You've been through you have gone from the beginning to the end. And now you are at the end with a totally different kind of movement, which is timeless and all that.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, you are in that. You are that. I come to you and say, what is that state of mind? I think that's right. What is the state of that mind, your mind, that has walked on that path and ended something, totally moved out of darkness? What is the state of that mind?
Yes. If you say it's non-movement, then, but are you implying that it's constant, that it's...
It must be. Constant in the sense no, constant. What do you mean by constant?
Well, it can have many meanings, but
continuous?
No.
No. Do you mean it is
static?
It's no. It may mean stands.
No.
Literally, it means to stand firm or to stand together. To stand firm or to stand together as a whole. You see, too.
Yes.
That's really its literal meaning.
Is that it?
Right.
A mind.
That's the picture you got of the tree as well,
Huh?
That's the picture which the tree in the field suggests that it...
Yes, I know you. That's too romantic and poetic, and a bit it becomes rather deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice image, but I move away from it. What is the mind, sir? What is that mind? I think we have to go through that. What is that mind, quality of that mind, that has started from the beginning and pursued the becoming, went through all that, the center of darkness has been wiped away, and that mind must be entirely different. No?
Yes, well...
Now, what does such a mind do or not do in the world which is in darkness?
Yes, well,
Sorry, this sounds...
Yeah. Well, I think that, the mind does not, it's saying it does not enter into that world, that movement of that world.
Agreed.
And in that sense, we say that it is constant. You say that it is not fixed, but it does not move, right?
But as Moody says, static. No, it's not static.
Not static. No, it's the constancy which comes from, in a sense, it's also movement. That that there's a constancy which is not merely static, but which is also at the same time movement, right? That movement
Yes.
which determines
We
itself
said
as
that
constant.
movement, not the becoming movement.
No, but the ground movement. And
Yeah, let's call it ground movement.
no, which is completely free. And
What is that mind? What has happened to that mind? Let's go into a little bit. It has no anxiety, no fear and all the rest of it. See, the word compassion and love is beyond that, right?
yes, well, yeah, but that may emerge out of this ground. Huh?
Yes. the mind being nothing, not a thing,
Yeah.
and therefore empty of knowledge. Sorry, all this sounds, unless you will follow right from the beginning.
Well, yeah, I have to go through it, otherwise it will make no sense. Right?
Yeah, no sense. Empty of knowledge. And would it be always acting in the light of insight?
Yes, well, it should be pervaded. I mean, not always, but it should be of the quality of insight. I mean.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I think always brings in time. You see.
You know, I remove the word.
But I would use constantly.
Yeah, constant. That's even. Yeah, all right. Let's use the word constant.
It's a bit better, but not good enough.
Yes. Let's use the word constant.
Mm-hmm.
It is acting constantly in that light, in that flash, or whatever we use that word, of insight. I think that's right. So what does that mean in my daily life, in one's daily life? Earn a livelihood?
Well, I mean, that would be another point. I mean, that you would have to find a way to stay alive. I mean,
Huh?
you would have to find a way to stay alive.
Stay alive. So that's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
As civilization grows, begging is a
it's no
criminal
longer
act.
allowed. No.
Huh?
You find some way to stay alive, which doesn't.
So I'm just asking, what will you do? Okay. He has no profession, no skill, because he's knowledge and all that. He has no coin with which he can buy.
Yes, but wouldn't it be possible for this mind to learn enough to, get what is needed to?
How?
Why has he no skill?
Huh?
Why has he no skill to earn a livelihood?
Why should he have skill?
To earn a livelihood.
Why? Why must you have skill to earn a livelihood? You say that. And the man says, why? Why should I have skill of any kind? I'm just inquiring into it. Why should I have any skill to earn a livelihood?
Well, look, suppose you had to take care of yourself anywhere in the forest. You would need a certain skill. You see, suppose you were by yourself in a cave,
I don't want a cave.
I know, but if you happen to be wherever you are, you need,
That's too dark.
well, wherever it is, you live somewhere. You see, now you need some skill to find the food which you need. You see that if everybody were to do this, then the human race would perish, right?
I'm not sure, sir.
Well, what would happen? And let's
That's what
explore
I'm
it,
coming to.
Right. But I mean, at first sight, it would seem that if everybody would say no skill is needed, then
No, because skill implies, as we said, knowledge.
yeah.
From that knowledge, experience, and gradually develop a skill. And that skill gives you an opportunity to earn a livelihood, a meager or a great deal. And this man says there may be a different way of living and earning. We are used to that pattern. Right, sir? And he may say, look, that may be totally wrong.
Well, it depends what you mean by skill. You see, for example, suppose he has to drive a car. Now, that takes some skill, you see.
Yes.
He may want to drive, he may
Yes.
I mean, is he going to do without that?
Now, better go into carefully into the word skill.
Yeah. I mean, skill could have a bad meaning of being very clever at getting money, but...
Money. So this man is not avaricious.
Yeah.
He's not money-minded. He's not storing up for the future.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't any insurance. But he has to live. And when we use the word skill, as driving a car,
or carpentry, or various. A carpenter has skill. You see the skill, and machinist has skill.
Yes.
If all those skills were to vanish,
no,
that would be impossible.
The whole thing collapse.
Yes.
Of course. I'm not sure we mean. Do we mean by that that kind of skill must be denied?
Well, no, he couldn't mean that.
Couldn't, I don't, no.
No, but then people can be
silly.
Very skillful at getting other people to give them money, you see.
That may be the game.
What?
That may be it. As I'm doing. Right?
I wish you were more skilled at that.
Sufficient unto the day thereof.
But is it that now we have made a division between living and skill, living and working, living and earning a livelihood and our security?
It is that.
Right. But
I need to have food, I need to have clothes and a shelter.
But is the division necessary?
It is not division, I need it.
Yes, but as the society is built now, we have a division between living and working.
No, but we've been through all that. We are talking of a man who has been through all this and has come back to the world and says, here I am. What is his relationship to society and what is he to do? Right, sir?
Right.
Has he any relationship to society?
Well, not in a deep sense, you see.
Huh?
Not in a fundamental sense.
No.
Although there's a superficial relationship he has to have.
Yeah, but, all right, a superficial contact with the world.
Yes, he has to obey the laws, he has to follow the traffic signals.
Quite. But I want to find out, sir, what is he to do? Write? Talk? That means skill.
Yeah, well, is that skill the kind you don't think is necessary?
Huh?
Is that skill
I'm just asking.
Well, that kind of skill need not be harmful, you see.
Yes.
It's the same as the other skill, carpentry.
Yes. That belongs to that kind of skill.
Yeah.
But what is he to do? I think if we could find out, sir, the quality of a mind that has been through that, from the beginning to the end. You know, the path for the last 5 or 6 discussions we've had, we went through all that, step by step, to the very end. And that man's mind is entirely different. And he's in the world. How does he look upon the world? you have reached and come back. Sorry, these terms. And I am an ordinary man living in this world. What is your relationship to me? Obviously, none. Because I am living in a world of darkness. And you are not. So, your relationship can only exist when I come out of that,
That's right. When the darkness goes.
When darkness ends.
Yeah.
Then there is there is only that. There's not a relationship.
Yeah.
There's only that. But now, there is division between you and me. And I look at you with my eyes which are accustomed to darkness and to division. And you don't. And yet you have to have some contact with me.
Yes.
You have to have some, even however superficial, however slight, a certain relationship with me. Is that relationship compassion? Not translated by me as compassion. Not say, oh, sure, you are not compassionate if you don't do this. So I am not looking from my darkness at you who may be compassionate. I don't know if
Yeah.
So I cannot judge what your compassion is. Right?
Yes, well, that's what follows from that, yes.
Huh?
It follows.
Follows. So, I don't know what your love is, what your compassion is, because my only love and compassion has been this. And so what do I do with you?
Oh, which one are we talking about?
Huh?
I said, which one are we talking about? I sort of got. I'm not clear to me which one we're discussing.
No, you,
Yeah.
X, have been through all that,
Yes.
come back.
Yes, and why it has not.
Y has not. Y says to you, why I asked this just now, forgotten it. I would say, sir, Y says, who are you? You seem so different. Your way of looking at life is different. Who are you? And what will I do, and what will Y do with you, X? That is the question. Not what you will do to me, but what will I do with you? I don't know if I'm...
Yes, well, as the why has to do something.
Huh?
As you're asking what, yes, I understand. What will Y do? What will Y do with X? I mean, what will he do?
So, but our question has been, what will
X do with Y?
X will do? On the contrary, I think we're putting the wrong question. What will Y do with X? I think what would happen generally is either worship him, kill him, or neglect him. Right?
Yes, well.
Say, but what? So if Y worships you, X, then everything is very simple. He has the goods. He has the goodies of the world. But that doesn't answer my question. My question is not only what will Y do to X, but what will X do with Y? X's demand is to say, look, walk out of this darkness. There's no answer in this darkness. So walk out. Move on, doesn't matter whatever phrase we use. Dispel it, get rid of, etc., etc. And why says, then help me, show me the way, and back again. You follow? So what will Y do to X?
Well, I can't see that Y can do very much except what you said, to either, to worship or to do something else.
Yes,
right?
something else, kill him or, yes, neglect him.
But I think that if X has compassion, if compassion works in X, right?
Yes, X is that.
Yes, and then he will...
He won't even call it compassion.
No, but we call it that.
Yeah, X.
Then X will work to find a way to penetrate the darkness. X will work.
Wait, so X's job is to work on darkness.
Well, to discover how to penetrate darkness.
Our darkness.
Right.
In that way, he's earning a livelihood.
Well, possibly.
No.
It depends on whether people will pay.
I'm talking seriously.
And it depends on whether people are willing to pay. It depends on whether people are willing to pay him for it.
Oh yeah, they are. No, I'm talking seriously.
Well, it's a possible way, anyway.
Yeah. So I probably that is. X is the teacher. X is out of society, out of darkness. X is unrelated to this field of darkness. And X is asking, teaching, saying to the people of darkness, come out. What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing.
Huh?
Well, nothing is wrong with it, right?
So, that is his means of livelihood. What's wrong with that?
Well, it's perfectly all right. As long as it works, it's perfectly all right. Huh?
It seems to work.
Of course, if there were a lot of people like X, there would be some limit.
No, sir. What would happen if there were lots of
That
people
would be
like
an
that?
interesting question, yes.
What would happen?
Well, then I think that would be something revolutionary.
That's just it.
That the whole framework would change.
That's just it. There were lots of people like that. They would not be divided.
No.
That's the whole point, right?
No, I think that if even 10 or 15 people were undivided, they would exert a force that's never been seen in our history.
That's right.
You see, because I don't think it's ever happened that 10 people were undivided.
So that is X's job in life. He says that is the only thing. That a group of those 10 X's will bring a totally different kind of revolution. Right?
Right.
Will society stand for that?
Well, if they will have this extreme intelligence, and they will find a way to do it, you see.
Of course.
Society will stand for it because they will be intelligent enough not to provoke society until society will not react until it's too late.
Quite right. You're saying something which is actually happening. So what happens? So would you say then the function of many excess is to awaken human beings to that intelligence which will dispel the darkness?
Yeah.
And that is means of livelihood. Right?
Yes.
There are those people who, in darkness, cultivate this, exploit people, and those are excess who don't exploit people. All right. That seems very simple.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it is all that simple.
All right.
Is that the only function of X? That seems very simple, doesn't it?
Well, it's a difficult function. It's not so simple.
The function may be complicated,
Yes.
but that can easily be solved.
Mm.
But I want to find out something much deeper than
Yeah.
mere function.
Yes, well, function is not enough. I mean...
Yeah, that's it. What is, apart from function, what is he to do? Why access to why, listen, and why it takes time, all the rest of it. And gradually, perhaps, once, sometime, he will wake up and move away. And is that all X is going to do in life? In life, you understand, sir? Is that all?
Well, that can only be an outcome of something deeper. I mean,
The deeper is all that.
what? The
ground.
The ground and so on, yes.
But is that all he's to do in this world? Just to teach people to move out of darkness?
Well, that seems to be the prime task at the moment. I mean, but in the sense that if this doesn't happen, the whole society will sooner or later collapse anyway. But he needs to be, in some sense, creative more deeply, I think.
What is that?
Well, it's not clear, but...
So, suppose you are X and Y. X is, you as X, has enormous field in which you operate. Not merely teaching me,
Yes, well...
but you have this extraordinary movement, which is not time and all that. That is, you have this abounding energy.
Yes.
And you have reduced all that to teach me, you follow what I mean, to move out of darkness. Huh?
Yeah, well, that can only be a part.
So what is the rest doing?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm conveying.
Yes, well, that's what I tried to mean by that some creative action is beyond this is taking place.
Beyond that. See? may write, you may preach, you may heal, you may do this and that. But it's all rather trivial. Right? Trivial, it's very small business. But you have something else. Have I reduced you, X, to my pettiness? God. My pettiness says you must do something. You must teach, you must write, you must heal, you must do something to help me to move. Right? You say, all right, you comply to the very smallest degree. But you have something much more immense than that. You understand my question?
Yeah, so what?
How is that operating on what?
On why?
How is that immensity operating on why? Apart from darkness, I don't know if I'm trying to say
Well, are
anything.
you saying that there's some more direct action?
Either there is more direct action, or why X is doing something totally different to affect the consciousness of man. I don't know if I'm...
Yes, all right, but what could it be?
Because you are not satisfied, quotes, merely preaching, talking, all that petty stuff. That immensity which you are, must do something.
Yes, well, are you saying that must in the sense of a feeling that you need to do it, or are you saying must in the sense of necessity?
It must.
It must necessarily do so, right?
Yes.
Right? But how will it affect mankind? Now, you see, when you say this, it would suggest to people that there's some sort of extrasensory effect, that it spreads.
That's what I'm trying to capture.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to convey.
Not merely through the words or through the activities or gestures.
So leave the activity alone. That's simple. We've gone into that. That's very peanuts. Very small potatoes.
It's a matter of making it clear, though, that I still need to make it clear what you mean, to say that it is not that.
It's not that.
Not just that.
No, not just that.
And
because that immensity must.
Well, necessarily, you mean? You mean it necessarily acts, or?
I wonder if you do understand what I'm trying to get at, sir.
You're saying that there is a more direct action.
No. There must... No, all right. That immensity necessarily has other activities.
Yes, other activities. In other ways, in other levels, or other...
Yes, other activities. Which has been translated in the Hindu and perhaps a little bit as at various degrees of consciousness.
Yes, so that's what I said. There are different levels
Levels
it's
of
acting, or degrees. Or
That too is a very small affair.
Yes.
You follow? Is it? What do you say, sir?
Well, I'm saying that, say, since the consciousness emerges from the ground, that this activity is affecting all mankind from the ground.
Yes.
Yes, I mean...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, see, this will be... Many
Yes,
people
sir.
will find this very difficult to understand, of course.
I'm not interested in many people.
Yeah.
I want to understand you, X, and I, Y. That ground, that immensity, is not limited to such potty little affair.
Yeah.
It couldn't.
Yes, well, the ground includes physically the whole universe.
And to reduce all that to...
to these little
It
activities.
sounds so silly.
Yes, well, I think that sort of raises the question, what is the significance of mankind in the universe or in the ground?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Because these little things have very little, even the best that we have been doing has very little significance at that scale, right?
Yes. I think, quote for a moment, this is just opening the chapter. I think that that X is doing something, not doing, by his very
Presence.
existence.
Yeah. Well, he is making something possible.
Yes. Einstein, and you as a scientist, has made something possible,
Yes.
which man hasn't discovered before.
But that's in a way which we can see.
Huh?
We can see that fairly easily because that works through the usual
Yes,
channels of
yes.
society, right?
That I understand. I'm just, you can see that. What is this man bringing, apart from the little things? What is he bringing? Would you say, sir, this all sounds, putting into words sounds wrong. X has that immense intelligence, that energy, that something. And he's, unquote.
He's what?
He must operate at a much greater level than I can possibly conceive.
Yeah.
Which must affect the consciousness of those who are living in darkness.
Well, possibly so. Now, see, will this effect show in any way? Manifestly.
Yes, sir. Apparently it doesn't.
Apparently it does.
If you hear the morning news, see television and all the rest of the world, apparently it's not doing it.
Yeah, so that's then that's what's it's difficult. It's a matter of great concern that man
But it must affect, sir.
It has to, you say.
It has to.
Well, why do you say it has to?
Because light must affect darkness.
Yes. Well, you see, let me say, perhaps why might answer that he is not sure. You see, living in darkness, he is not sure that there is such an effect. He might say, well, maybe there is. I want to see it manifest in some way.
Manifested actually.
Then I
yes.
can...
I understand all that. I understand all that.
But not seeing anything and still being in darkness, why he says, what
So
shall I do?
are you saying X only activity is just that?
No, merely that it may well be that the activity is much greater, but it hasn't shown. You see, now, if we could see it,
how would it be shown? How would why, who wants proof of it, should be
not
shown?
even proof, but just
shown.
to be shown, saying that let's say Y might say something like this. Many people have made similar statements. Some of them have obviously been wrong, and one wants to say, it could be true. See, until now, I think the things we've said make sense, and they follow to a certain extent.
A sense and all that.
And now you're saying something which goes much further.
Yeah.
And other people have said things like that, where one feels that they were on the wrong track. That they were fooling themselves. And certainly some of these people were.
No.
Well,
X says I'm not. We have been
yes,
very
that's right.
logical.
Yes, but at this stage, logic will not carry us any further, right?
No, very reasonable, rational.
Yeah.
We've been through all that.
Yeah.
So your X's mind is not acting in any irrational way.
Right. Well, you could say that having seen that the thing was reasonable so far, Y may have some confidence that it may go further.
Yes, that's what I'm saying
yes,
too.
but of course no proof, right?
No,
So we could explore.
that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
What are the other activities of X?
Of
X. We said X has a function, teaching, but we said X has other activities.
maybe, must have,
What
necessarily must.
Which are what?
I don't know. We're trying to find that out.
Well, you're saying that somehow he makes possible, I think, the way I understand it, an activity of the ground in the whole consciousness of mankind, which
Yes.
would not have been possible without him.
Yes,
That is what I understand.
that's what I am beginning to.
And so aren't you saying or implying also that his contact with Y is not verbal and only verbal? It's not that Y has to listen and say, oh
Yes,
yes,
but-
perhaps, some other...
X says that's all petty affair. That's of course understood. We'll do that. But X is saying there's something much greater than all that.
The effect of X is far greater than perhaps
Then,
can be defined
yes.
in words.
So we are trying to find out what is that greater that must necessarily be operating.
Is it something that appears in the daily life of X?
Yes. Daily life of X is apparently doing the petty little stuff.
Yes.
Teaching, writing, bookkeeping, whatever it is.
Right.
Is that all? You follow what I mean?
Yes.
It seems so silly.
Are you saying that in the daily life, X does not look so different from anybody else?
No, it apparently is not.
Yes, but there's something else going on,
Yes,
which
that's
does
what-
not show, right?
That's
And-
it. When he may not be, when X talks, it may be different. He may say things differently and so on, but that's all.
It's not fundamental because
No, sir, for God's sake.
there are also many people who say things
Yeah,
differently.
that's so. I know.
But I mean, there are people who say things differently from other people.
No, but the man who has walked
Yeah.
through that right from the beginning to the end, he's entirely different. And,
Yeah,
and when he says something, that's also different. But I'm not concerned about that. Let's leave that.
All right.
We're asking such a man, has the whole of that energy to call upon. And to reduce all that energy to this petty little affairs seems so ridiculous.
Yes. Well, let me ask a question. You see, why does the ground require this man to operate on him in mankind? You see, why can't the ground, as it were, operate directly in mankind to clear things up?
You're asking, just me.
Yeah.
Are you asking, why does the ground demand action?
Why does it require a particular man, you see?
Oh yes, that I can easily explain. That's part of existence,
I mean, it's not clear.
like the stars.
Can the immensity act directly on the mankind, or does it have to, in the form of a man, go to the consciousness of mankind? Is that what you're asking?
No,
Can it
sir.
work directly?
We are talking something else. I want to find out what X wants to say. I'm not going to be reduced to writing, talking. That's too petty, too small. We'll do that, but let's leave that alone. And the question as you put, why does the ground need this man?
Yeah.
It doesn't need him.
No, but why does then? But when he's here, the ground.
Huh?
But if he is here, then the ground will use him. Right?
That's all.
Yeah, but would it be possible that the ground could do some, to clear up this
That's
mess
what I
without
want
him?
to find out.
What?
That's what I'm asking in
what?
different words.
Is that what?
The ground doesn't need man,
Yes.
but the man has touched the ground.
Yes.
So the ground is using him, let's call it. Is employing him, he's part of that movement.
Yes.
Is that all? You follow what I mean, sir? Am I asking wrong questions? Why should he do anything except this?
Well, perhaps he does nothing, but
That very doing nothing may be the doing.
yes. Well, in doing nothing, it makes possible the action of the ground. I mean, is that
Yes.
that in doing nothing, which has any specified
That's right.
aim.
Specified content which can be translated into
Yeah.
human terms.
Yes, but still, he is supremely active in doing nothing.
Yes.
Uh,
All this sounds.
well,
Could one say, is there an action which is beyond time of that man?
He's sir. He's that.
Yes, then therefore we cannot ask for a result of that man.
He's not asking results.
Well, why is asking for a result?
No, he says, I'm not concerned with why. I'm only concerned. X says, I'm only concerned to talk, to preach, to do something, or petty little stuff. That's a very small thing. And I'm not even bothered about that. But there's a vast field which must affect the whole of mankind.
well, there's an analogy which may not be very good, but consider it that in chemistry, a catalyst makes possible a certain action without itself taking part.
Yes,
You see,
yes.
but merely by being what it is.
What it is. Is that what is happening? Even that is a small affair,
Yes.
right?
And even even there, why would say it isn't happening? Because the world is still in a mess.
What?
Even there, why would say, well, it is not happening, the world is still in a mess. So what has the, the question is there a proof in the world for the activity of that mind?
Nobody, he says, I'm not, X says, I'm sorry, there's no question at all. I'm not interested in proving anything. Right? It isn't a mathematical problem or a technical problem to be shown and proved. He says, this is so. I walked from the beginning of man to the very end of man. And this is there is a movement which is timeless, right? Ground which is the universe, the cosmos, everything going on. But the ground doesn't need the man, but the man has come upon it, right? And the man is still a man in the world, right? And that man says, I'll try to do something like that. Not to prove the ground, not to do anything, but just out of wise ex-compassion or whatever, he does that. But there's much greater movement which necessarily must play part in the world.
Does it play a part through X?
Huh?
Does the greater movement play a part in the world through X?
Obviously.
Through the data?
If there were 10 X's, it would be, of course it would be. I think we are pursuing something which may not have value at all.
What do you mean, no value?
Huh?
Why do you say no value?
Value in the sense, which X may only see. I'm not saying this out of vanity, out of escape, or anything. X is, but there's nothing, there's something else operating which cannot possibly be put into words. That's not maybe a slight escape, but he says, what am I to do? There is nothing more, there is nothing which a man like Y will understand. He will immediately translate it into some kind of illusory thing. But X says there is. Right?
Okay.
So it must be. Otherwise, so it's also childish.
Yes. Well, I think that why might say it's not. It doesn't follow that the universe isn't something fairly childish or trivial.
What?
I say it doesn't follow that the universe isn't something rather trivial. No, but if you say it isn't trivial.
No, it's not trivial.
No, but I think that the general view which people are developing now is that the universe has no meaning.
Yes, yes.
And that it moves any old way, and all sorts of things happen, and none of them have any meaning.
None of them have meaning from the man who is here.
Yes.
But the man who is there, who was spoken relatively, he said that it's full of meaning.
Right. Now,
Not invented by thought and all that, but that it's got, the word meaning has no meaning there. All right, sir. Which means, leave the vastness and all that, which means X is the occupation with pettiness, and perhaps there'll be 10 people who will join game, And that might affect the society,
Yes.
which will not be communism, socialism, this, the other. It might be totally different, based on intelligence,
Yes.
compassion, and all the rest of it.
Yes. Well, if there were once 10, then they might find a way to spread much more. You see that?
That's what I'm trying to get at. I can't get it.
What do you mean?
So you bring the universe, and I translate it into. So you understand, sir?
Well, if the whole mankind were to see this, to be, then are you saying that that would be something different?
Oh yes, sir. Of course.
Would it be a new?
I mean, this would be paradise on earth.
It would be like an organism of a new kind.
Of course. I think we better stop there, I don't know. What time is it?
5:10.
I think we better stop there, sir. See, I'm not satisfied with this.
Well, what is it that you're?
I'm not satisfied, quotes, satisfied, in leaving this immensity to be reduced to some few words. It seems so stupid, incredible. The man, why is concerned with show me, prove it to me, what benefit it has, will I get my future, he's concerned with that. And he's looking at X with the eyes that have so accustomed to this pettiness. So either he reduces that immensity to his pettiness and puts it in a temple, and has therefore lost it completely. But excess, I won't even look at that. There is something there's something so immense that X says, please do look at this. And why I was always translating into, show it to me, prove it to me, will I have a better life? He's concerned always with that. X brings light. That's all he can do. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
Isn't that enough? Well, we better stop this. I'll have to go at this sometime.
what?
I'll have to go at this sometime with you later.
Maybe later. Well, to bring the light which would allow other people to be open to the immensity.
See, is it like this, sir? We only see a small part but that very small part extends to infinity.
Right,
That means endless.
endless, yes. Small part of what?
No. That immensity
Yeah.
we see only as a small thing.
Yes.
And that immensity is the whole universe.
Yeah.
I can't help but thinking that it must have some immense effect on society.
Yes. Well, certainly the perception of this must have an effect, but see, it seems that this is not in the consciousness of society at the moment.
I know.
But are you saying still the effect is there?
That, yes, sir.
Are you saying the perception of even a small part of it, if not the infinity,
Of course, obviously.
is in itself the changing factor?
But we better stop here.
Well, I mean, I don't want to raise a question, but do you think it's possible that a thing like this could divert the course of mankind away from the dangerous
Yes,
course
sir, that's
that's
what I'm
taking
thinking
place?
too. But to divert the course of man's destruction, somebody must listen. Right?
Yes.
Somebody, 10 people must listen.
Yes. So that becomes...
Listen, they listen, but I mean, listen to that immensity calling.
Yeah, so the immensity may make possible, may divert the course of man. You
Yes,
see, whereas
yes.
the individual cannot do it.
Yes. Individual cannot do it, obviously. But the individual, but the X, who is supposed to be an individual, has trodden this path and says, listen, but they don't listen.
Well, then somehow discover, is it possible to discover how to make people listen, right?
Well, we're back.
Back. Well,
So better stop. But what?
what do you mean?
The actors, don't you know, the last
Oh.
appearance.
Thing.
What does it mean not to do a thing?
Why is not to do the thing? What does it
Thing
mean?
being thought. I don't want to go into all that. So I realize as why that whatever I do, whatever I do, sacrifice, give up, practice, whatever I do, I'm still living in that circle of darkness. Right? So, excess, don't act, you have nothing to do. That is, you follow that is translated, it's all right, I'll wait.
Right.
You do everything and say, wait and see what happens. No. I must pursue this. Then it's also hopeless. Hopeless from the point of view of why.
Yeah.
Not to X.
Your friends are